Hey guys, welcome back to another Toy Mention video. Today I want to talk about nostalgia and what nostalgia means to me. And it could be a childhood memory of Hubba Bubba, Hubba Bubba, Hubba Bubba. You know, gum that is amazingly delicious, actually, by the way. Or is it the feel of a child's toy that was created back, what, in like 74, give or take, and it's still kicking around here? This was picked up at a Dollar General for only a few bucks, right? But a slinky, it's fun for a girl and a boy, give or take. So, real quick, nostalgia dictionary on Google, real quick. So, a sentimental longing or wishful affection for the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations. Example, I was overcome with acute nostalgia for my days in college. Good. So pretty much we're getting gist of it. It's a memory, something that triggers feelings and stuff like that too, is what I'm getting, right? So here you got something done or presented in order to evoke feelings of nostalgia. Example, an evening of TV nostalgia. Nostalgia to me is very personal to me, very fun in a way. It gives me a throwback. It gives me memories of days when I felt innocent. Life was good. You really had no responsibilities. Life was, well, life, right? I remember coming home from school and stuff like that too, and watching my Power Rangers. My Power Rangers. To me, the TV show, The Mighty Morphin going into Zeo, was nostalgia to me. I grew up liking the Power Rangers. Well, I picked up a Saba sword, right, from 1994 with the original tag on it for $24.99, right? I picked up on eBay and I paid like almost like 125 to 150 for it plus shipping stuff. So this toy is super old, 30 years old, right? 30 plus years old now, right? Saba is the weapon of the White Ranger. Probably one of my top three favorite weapons of everything. Well, I originally ordered it for a friend of mine, right? Well, there was another guy over who's not really into the whole toy collecting and stuff like that too. So when I gave this Saba, original box, original everything, to a friend of mine, right? The other guy goes, "Oh, looks like you got ripped off. Ha ha ha! $150 for that thing." It was the original Saba. That thing was nostalgia to me. That thing was amazing. I used to cosplay and dream to be the White Ranger all the time, outside of being the Green Ranger too. Comic Cons, YouTube videos. I got some flashbacks on here too. That was memories for me. It was good days and stuff like that too. But then you have a buddy who makes fun of you for your nostalgia. Makes me wonder what kind of nostalgia did he have. I tried calling him, didn't answer. No problem. I was going to ask him, what was nostalgia to you? So I can use it as an example on here. So see what the difference is and stuff like that too. Well, some of us hold on to our nostalgias because life ain't great for us, or we went through some bad stuff, bad things happened, or whatever. And you still have to face it. You still have to face the music and live on, go on, all that fancy stuff too, right? Well, some of us haven't been given the world like that. Yes, we have a few options here and there, but we always get the bad side of the coin and stuff like that too. So some people just get blessed with everything and stuff like that too. Well, for me, my nostalgia is my blessing. I grew up watching Saturday morning cartoons. I enjoyed it. I had a bowl of cereal. I'll sit there with my brother and we just watch TV. I look back to like nostalgia, like TV, like I said. Dino Riders. I love dinosaurs and they weaponize them. I was like, that's pretty cool too. And I'm glad they didn't do that in Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. But that was good throwback, good memories and stuff like that too. Reminds you of your childhood memories and stuff like that too. When, like I said, you were innocent, young and stuff. You really had no clue what the real world was like. You just had your fantasy world, the stuff to distract you, keep you going. Well, as you get older and stuff like that too, you slowly get away from nostalgia stuff because you're living the real life and stuff like that too. Well, sometimes some of us like to collect, like Power Rangers and such, right? That's my nostalgia. I look back at stuff. And I don't like it when people make fun of us because we collect or we like our nostalgia of certain things or our love, our affectionateness, of certain things, and I enjoy it. I love it. I like being thrown back. I'll sometimes just sit there and watch Power Rangers. I used to have a big nostalgia for Ninja Turtles, but to me, they just kind of got too saturated, so they got two. But they still have the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers going on. They tried to reboot it one time in 2017. Obviously, the fans didn't like it, and there's a bunch of people out there like me who like the original and don't want it to change. That's like what they're rebooting Transformers or doing add-ons, doing this, doing that. Some of us just like the original Transformers and all that stuff too. I mean, TV was a different world back there too. I miss the cartoons, commercials, the cereal commercials, the toy commercials. They were freaking cool, man. On this channel too, I have a bunch of like Power Ranger toy just videos, and I'm sitting there like, man, I remember that, and it throws you back to a memory that you forgot a long time ago, locked up in your head, and you have all these fancy memories coming out, like saying, man, I always wanted that, I've had it, or whatever. I had some Dino Rider stuff too, by the way. And I forgot about Dino Riders until I went to a toy store once and I ran into some Dino Rider stuff. I was like, I remember this. So then you got like Knight Rider, Airwolf. You got some other stuff like that too. Then you look back to other TV shows, probably made more for adults, like the A-Team, MacGyver. Nostalgia to me is older TV shows and stuff like that too. And I like to collect certain things to keep that nostalgia going, even though these are like 2018, give or take, Power Rangers and stuff like that too. They still remind me of the classic days, and I still have the classic movies, give or take, even though I guess they brighten them up a little bit or whatever too. But nostalgia is a big deal to a lot of us collectors because, we have kids we want to, pass our nostalgia to and stuff like that too. But are they going to keep it going? Probably not. I mean, a lot of kids now, their heads are pretty much in their phones. Yes, a phone. I never get a phone until I was 19. Now they got iPads and everything now. They have a rough time if they don't have their suction on the TV, their face stuck to the screen. No problem, right? So I remember, speaking of nostalgia, Nintendo. I didn't grow up with a Nintendo. My neighbor had a Nintendo when I was staying on a farm for a little bit. My brother and I would have to go over there and we would play once in a while, but we would have to share it because they also had a kid named Gary too. He was a really cool guy. He was going to his teens or whatever. So we got to play a lot. Then later on, I guess my dad broke down and finally got us a Sega Genesis. And later on, years later, we got a PlayStation. So Sega is nostalgia too, but it doesn't have the memories in there like I like too. Nostalgia is like, me liking Jurassic Park because I love Jurassic Park. And yes, they're keeping it going, but the nostalgia is drowned up for me. There's so much stuff going on. I love the fact they're continuing stories, and hopefully this new movie is going to be very good. But it's just a blessing to have that nostalgia and stuff like that too. So don't let people make fun of you because you collect stuff to remind you of your childhood days. The days when you were happy or you had no clue what was going on. It's your escape away from reality, the real world and stuff like that too. Like I said, we got bills, we got stuff to go, we got, all kinds of stuff to take with, you got to go to work, you got to do this and live. Back in the day, man, you just went to school, did your studies, that's technically your job, and you played with toys, right? My brother and I used to play these war games. We just line everything up or whatever and just play with them. Matchbox cars, man. We had so many of those. And I'm sitting like, what happened to all of them too? And I have like 2 Matchbox cars now, a few Batman stuff or whatever, for Matchbox cars. I don't have too many of those anymore. I actually have one that a guy gave me. I don't know where I put it, but it was a little Camaro. And I like that little Camaro because a kid who was like maybe 5 or 6 gave it to me when I was out working at a toy store and stuff like that too. And I was like, that's nostalgic because it reminded me of those toys back in the day. It reminded me, my brother and I would sit on this porch and just line stuff up. We also had like the big yellow Tonka trucks or whatever, like the metal steel ones or whatever. And we would actually go out there and dig and stuff. We wouldn't really get in trouble. We got frowned at because they would go out there and, grandparents or the parents, whatever, they had to go dig it up, or we had to, or cleaning it back up and stuff like that too. We did a lot of stuff like that. So, but nostalgia is a big deal to, like I said, us collectors. And as long as we have nostalgia, we will still have love for our collecting. And collecting, hopefully, will keep going for a long time and stuff like that too. So, and like I said, the Slinky was something I completely forgot about. It's like 12, 15 years before my time. But the fact is, it's still around. People like it. People still want it. Is it just something to sell? bubble gum. People like their bubble gum, you know. So, and that's Hubba Bubba, man. So then you got like what Fruit by the Foot and all that stuff too. You had those Flintstone popsicles and stuff. And I remember the Flintstones TV show. Then you had the Jetsons and stuff too, or whatever too. I mean, the memories, man. You got to keep them going and stuff like that too. You know, live in your fantasy world here and there and stuff like that. Even if it's just a little toy room or a little toy closet or whatever. Or if you get onto a video game you haven't played forever and you lose track, you're there. You know, and that's why I like to do my Power Rangers and stuff like that too. Some people just don't understand nostalgia. That's why I'm just yapping away about nostalgia because it's stuff I grew up with that I want to keep in my life to keep me in positive thoughts all the time. You know, like I said, when we were younger and we didn't have a care in the world. But now you have to care in the world too. But sometimes you need your escape, and that's where the nostalgia comes in. So, but anyways, guys, I hope you like this little just yap or whatever and stuff like that too. So, what is nostalgia for you? Leave me a comment below and tell me what does nostalgia mean to you? What triggers you for nostalgia? What do you go look for when you go to Walmart? Where do you go when you look at toy stores or look on eBay or you look on anything like that? What is your nostalgia thing? Like, you know, I grew up Ninja Turtles. So I like X-Men, Spider-Man, I like all that stuff too, but like I said, Power Rangers are my trigger. They're what I love. And, you know, don't let people bring you down or bash on you or just turn the other cheek and just ignore it, you know, whatever. They just don't understand what really goes through your head and stuff like that too, even though they claim they do. So just remember, keep your nostalgia alive, guys, and keep collecting, keep dreaming, keep doing whatever you got to do, keep going in this wretched world, you know, of being an adult. So till next time, kiddies. Till next time. A slinky, a slinky. Till next time, kiddies. Till next time.